Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What I want to do today is not so much an upgrade, but put back what the factory had on my 2016 Dodge Ram. It came with a dual exhaust and the cutouts in the bumper for the dual exhaust, but the former owner put a plain bumper and a Flowmaster underneath the cab, which made the drone horrible in it, especially when you're pulling a trailer. And we like to go camping and stuff like that, and it just takes away from some of the enjoyment of going on a trip. So I went and bought factory style dual exhaust, and I found on Marketplace a bumper that is OEM cutouts and stuff like that for it. So what I want to do today is go ahead and paint the bumper and get it ready to get and put it back on my truck. Like I said, I got all the exhaust for it. It's OEM style. It's not OEM because that's too expensive. The tips I found on Marketplace. Somebody was selling them and they're in great shape. That's the muffler inside that box right there. Like I said, I think I got most of it off of Amazon that had the best price for it. Now this is the bumper that I got off of Marketplace. It was brand new. The former owner never installed it. So I got it for $100 off of him. And it did have a couple of bad spots in the paint. You can see right there, I did some filler primer and blocked it out. And it had a little spot over here that you can't see no more. It was real small, about the size of a dime. Got it all blocked out. Now I'm ready to put a coat of paint on it. And what I'm going to do is try one of these paint booths out too. I got it off of Amazon for $155. I'm going to try it out and see if I like it. Alright guys, there it is. I think it's going to be kind of noisy with that blower right there, but it's not too bad. It's a 10 foot by 8 foot. I didn't want nothing real big so I could actually get it underneath either my carport or in my shop if it's real windy. But like I said, it's 10 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot tall. What I'm going to do with where these little D-rings are, I think I'm going to take that string and I'm going to strap it up to the beams, because I've seen where a breaker trip or something on that little blower, it ends up collapsing really quick on top of your freshly painted parts. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, you can see I got bungees holding it. Decided to use that instead of some string. So hopefully it doesn't shut off, but if it does, at least I might have a backup. Alright guys, I'm fixing to lay down the first coat, more of a tack coat. Let me go ahead and get that done. Alright, here goes coat 2. Alright guys, I got the bumper all painted. I got a couple little nibs in it, but it'll be okay. Just a little bumper. Other than that, it turned out good. I think I put like 3 coats on it. And I'm going to just let it sit out here in the sun and bake for a while. And one thing I wanted to get and talk about is this paint booth. When you have a problem with it losing power, it can collapse on you really quick. And I'm going to get and demonstrate that real quick. Let's say you have the paint in there, a painted part, and there it goes. You just have seconds to figure something out. That's the reason why I tied it up, hoping that if I did trip a breaker or something like that, it would hopefully hold it up a little bit longer for me to figure something out. But y'all definitely want to get and try to have a backup plan just in case that blower fails. Alright guys, it's been about a week since I painted that bumper. What I'm going to do today is go ahead and get it pulled off the Dodge and start getting that exhaust installed. So I thought I'd let y'all hear what it sounds like before. So it sounds pretty good, but it's mainly that drone that it has when you're pulling something. It just gets really annoying when you're trying to pull the camper and stuff like that and talk to people. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and get this bumper changed out and start installing the exhaust. I'm probably just going to put y'all in a time lapse because I need to get this done today. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the old bumper off and get everything transferred onto the new bumper. Alright guys, now that I got the bumper off, all I gotta do is take these 5 bolts that holds this bracket on each one off, and you just kind of crimp this plastic together and pull it off and transfer everything over to that bumper. Alright, I went ahead and washed all the parts off that I'm going to get and put onto this bumper right here. I guess that guy must have lived on a sandy road because there's all kinds of sand caked up underneath it. So let me go ahead and get this transferred over. You guys got it all done. Had to go back and forth a few times to get it centered up, but I think it looks pretty good now. So I guess I can move on to the exhaust. Alright, I guess I'm going to see if I can get this Flowmaster pulled out of here. So that rust kind of had it a little bit stuck on there. Don't know how stuck this exhaust is going to be on here. probably gonna see if I can get a mallet and tap it off. Can't tell if it's moving at all. Actually, I think I'm gonna try some heat first and see if that helps. Well, it's moving. I keep hearing it pop. I think it's breaking up that rust or something. See about just maybe cutting a little slice on it. Alright, I'm really hoping this all going to slip together. It's really easy. That part slid on easy. I went ahead and put the rubber isolators on it. Come on. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Actually, you got these rubber isolators from the salvage yard because they're pretty expensive to buy the ones from brand. I think I'm going to reuse this plant. I'm going to leave it loose right now so I can have a little bit of play and stuff. And go get one of the other pipes and see how that's going to fit. Alright, I'm thinking this is the passenger side because the other one would have to be a lot longer. It has to kick to the other side of the truck. Alright, I got it installed for the most part. Still gotta put the clamps on. But I gotta first make sure the tips are gonna be equal. I don't know if I need to move these pipes any. It's all made by Walker, so I'm guessing that's the reason why the install went okay. All from the same company. But like I said, went together pretty easily. Just gotta make sure you use a penetrating oil on those rubber isolators. Makes it slide easier. All right, let me check the tips and everything and see if they're gonna be equal. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the tips on. I did make sure that the exhaust was equal on both sides. Now, one thing I'm having an issue with, I bought all the exhausts new except for the tips. I found them on Marketplace. I think I gave $40 for the pair. I thought it was a great deal because it came with the clamps and everything, because the clamps are pretty expensive. But these ended up being 5th generation tips, which they don't quite fit, and I still had to get and buy the 4th gen clamps. So I didn't really save no money there, but I think I can get them to work. They barely grab when you clamp it down. I've heard some people saying they couldn't get them to clamp at all. I did get them to clamp, but I think what I'm going to end up doing once I get it clamped and where I want it, I think I'm going to weld it really good in one spot on the clamp to the tip, so it still can move around, but you also still take it off. That's how I think I'm going to get and solve that, because like I said, these tips are very expensive. Okay, get that on there. See if I can get it tightened down. See, that seemed to grab pretty good, and I can't move it. Now, one thing I did do was I took like a 2 5/16 trailer ball, and I put on the end of it, and I pecked all around it, trying to flare that flare out a little bit more. But that seems to be on there pretty tight. But I think I still will put a little weld in one spot to make sure it doesn't fall off once I get it where I want it. Alright, I just want to show you what it looks like. Looks like it's grabbed about a 1/4 inch. That's pretty good. When I got and kind of test fitted it before, I didn't tighten that clamp down super tight, and it didn't seem to suck back as far. But really torquing on that clamp, it seemed like it pulled it in better. I might still put a weld on it, but I might not have to. I also don't have it adjusted, so when I get and go to make my adjustments up and down, it might pull it out more right here, and I'll have to get and add that weld. You'll just have to see. Let me go ahead and get the other one on, then I'll get these kind of fit it where they need to be and make a decision. I got it pretty well equal on each side. Looks pretty good. I guess the only thing left to do is to start it and see what it sounds like. It's definitely quieter. I wanted to have a lot quieter exhaust, but I wish it had a little bit more attitude to it when you got on it. Went from a bobcat to a kitten, but you know what, that'll be all right. The whole point of this is to make it more quiet when we're pulling trailers and stuff, not being annoyed by the drone in the cabin. So I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, I wanted to show you one more time how it looks as far as the flare being clamped. You can see a big part of it's clamped up in there. I just went off forums that people put out that said they couldn't get them to work. They tightened down the clamp as tight as a clamp, and they couldn't get it to not move. But these are really solid. Like I said, I don't know if it's because the way I gotten flared it out with using that trailer ball, but it seemed to work. And if it doesn't, I want to keep an eye on it. I'll put a little tack right here from the clamp to the tip to secure it. But for right now, I think I'm gonna let it ride and see how it does. In the driver's side, kind of see it's in there pretty good too. Really solid. So you can make these work. I'm not going to say that everybody's going to have success, and it could be the exhaust pipe difference that somebody else had. Maybe this little ball that's on the end of it for this tip to connect to might be different. But so far I'm pretty pleased how it came out. But I have a backup if it doesn't work. Alright guys, that's going to be all for this episode. Thank you so much for coming along and watching. If you made this far, if you could give me a like or subscribe, it really helps grow the channel. Other than that, get out in your shop and work on your project, because you don't want to let your project become somebody else's. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.